Hey friend, welcome to the Halfway to Dead podcast. I'm your host, Jen Lovell. Listen, you and I have reached that age where we are done with the bullshit. We know that midlife is our chance to flip the script and experience life on our own terms. It's time to reconnect with our higher selves and reclaim our inner peace. Are you ready with an open heart and an open mind? Awesome, you're in the right place. Hop in and ride shotgun with me on this midlife spiritual journey. Hey guys, welcome back. Today, we're talking with Patricia Noel. Patricia is the author of 14 books, host of Stories and Strategies for Women Entrepreneurs Over 50 podcast, and a highly sought after business mentor who specializes in guiding female entrepreneurs over 50 to step fully into their value and create the income they deserve. She has decades of experience in business, education, personal development. She really loves to help women break free from their fear of starting late, feeling underqualified, or being stuck in unfulfilling careers. She shows them that thriving in business is less about degrees and credentials and more about uncovering and monetizing their unique gifts. She is more than a mentor. She's a catalyst for transformation and clarity, showing women over 50 that their best and most profitable chapter may be the one they're about to write. Okay, doesn't she sound amazing, you guys? She has so much experience. Okay, let's jump in there and get a little mentoring from Patricia today. Hey, Patricia, thanks for coming to be with me today. I'm many a question for Patricia today, you guys. I feel like you have a ton of life experience. This is my favorite part about your bio. You have a life experience, which, you know, all my friends listening right now, we all kind of do, right? I'm guessing there's some stories to go along with this. What inspired you to want to help midlifers? I'm assuming you've been through some stuff yourself. And I'm a big believer in looking forward to people who've already blazed the path, have already done the things, right? That they probably know a little bit better than I do. And just for the record, you guys listening, Patricia is over 50. She knows what she's talking about.
Yeah, well, you know, everybody, you know, in this day, age means absolutely nothing. Your chronological age. Every time I ask somebody, how old would you be today if you didn't know how old you were? Every person says 20 to 30 years younger.
For sure.
It's just because that's how we feel, you know, so age doesn't really matter. But the reason I really focused on women at 50 and all entrepreneurs, because we are different. We're a different breed. We don't even think the same way, but I didn't know that. Have you always been an entrepreneur, and have you always thought differently than
always else? Yep.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Me too. And that's an entrepreneur, true entrepreneur. And so when I started thinking about renaming the podcast, because the first couple of seasons I went with When Passion Meets Profit, because I think it's very important to really do what you love, but understand that it's okay to make a bucket full of money while you're doing it.
Yeah.
Because you're sharing all the knowledge that you have. And then I changed it to Women Entrepreneurs Over 50 who want to work less, make more while doing what they love. That's really important, because if you're making a lot, but because I have made a lot of money not doing what I love, and it didn't feel good. So I'd rather make a lot of money doing exactly what I want to be doing and helping people that I want to help.
So was there a specific turning point for you? Like you said, you were making money doing things you didn't love. Was there a aha type of moment where you're like, ugh, this has to change?
Yes. I'm my own boss. I own my own company, and I hate my job. And I don't know what to do, because now I'm in it. And I have these golden handcuffs, and I'm working as fast as I can. I have all these employees that are dependent on me. So I called my friend, and I said, he's a business broker. And I said, can you come to the office and just tell me, I think it's time to sell this. And he said, this is worth nothing if you leave. I mean, I hope you know that. And I said, are you kidding me? I have all these employees and an office and a lease, and it's beautiful. And he said, well, I'm just telling you, you have nothing. Now, I decided the only thing I could do was to work on that then, because I didn't want to be stuck there. So I worked on it, and I put 27 systems together so that I did not have to go into the office unless I chose to. And this one guy walks in one day and says, you know, we have been doing a study of all kinds of staffing, recruiting firms here in the Phoenix area. And we decided that we wanted to ask you if you're interested in selling. I'm like, you've got to be kidding me.
You're like, yes, sir.
Well, you have all these in place, and it runs so well. And I'm thinking that is the coolest thing I have ever heard. And so I sold that company, and those people thought they were, not giving me enough money I thought they were giving me more than enough money, but I wasn't talking. As they were showing me the numbers, I'm like speechless because
Yeah.
they're giving me so much money for this. He thinks I'm thinking I want more, so he kept giving me more through the silence. I'm thinking, okay,
This is working
I
out.
was said, "You're the best negotiator I might have ever met," and I'm not negotiating at all.
No,
I'm
you
just
just sat there
telling
with that
he
face.
said
And he thought, oh,
I
I need to give her more. I
said,
need to give
"Okay,
her more.
here's my last thing. We're gonna pay for all the furniture. We want all your furniture. Just leave it all here, and we'll give you this much more money." So I okay. He said, "Now, you're not talking a lot, so I'm just wondering, how long will it take you to pack up and leave so that we can come in and start working?" And I said, "About 5 minutes."
Yeah, I'm already packed, boys. Yeah. Yeah.
That's a better one, better line. I'm already
You left that business. And then what did you start something new that you would love, obviously?
Yeah, I started the whole business mentoring at that time. I knew there were other women like myself that were out there struggling, not knowing what to do, and they got stuck in this whatever they created. And so I decided to really start taking that seriously. And so I wrote the book, What Should I Be Now When I Grow Up, now that I'm 40, 50, 60, to
Yes.
say and beyond, because people are working, a lot longer now. And when I put that together, I realized how many women really identified with that.
Hmm.
Every time I go through an airport and I have my luggage bag say that, and everything was kind of saying that, everybody was like, "Oh my God, I know exactly what that means. I've said it 100 times."
Hmm.
So I knew there was a real need. Then I went broader and deeper, and I created a course called "Your Gift Is Your Niche," because all these women kept saying to me, "I'm just so confused, Patricia. I know I need a niche, but what is my niche now that I'm 50 or whatever?" And I'd say, "Your gift. Your gift is
Yeah.
your niche."
I've been married for a really long time too.
Well, I got so lucky. I mean, I'm not kidding you. We are so lucky. I say this to my husband almost every day. Do you know how lucky we are? But do you also know how rare we are? Because we still like each other. We still have fun together. It's not one of those long-lived marriages where we're attacking each other all the
Yeah.
time. But we met in the hospital when we were born, if you can imagine.
What?
He's 4 days older. We were in the same hospital, and they kept our parents for 10 days at that time, so our mothers probably met each other, and now we grow up, we don't know each other, but at age 16, we meet each other for the first time, and I felt this flood of energy go through me because, "My God, am I gonna marry that guy? I don't even know him." That's a true story, and
Yeah.
he felt the same way, and so here we are 60 years later,
60 years
and
later. You got any tips?
I get asked that all the time.
Uh-huh. I bet.
And I say 2 things. It's what works for the couple, because some couples travel all the time and some couples fight all the time. So it's whatever works, and some people go out on each other. So whatever works for the couple. And then the second thing I say, make sure that you interview divorced people, because they're the brilliant ones. They know what didn't work, and now they know what works.
Yeah. No, that sounds right. But do you think at a certain age should it become less about, because when you're married in the younger years, it's like, well, I'm going to put up with this because for the children, for this, for that. We can't afford to live separately, like blah, blah, blah. But then you get to a point when it's over, like our ages, midlifers here, and you have to make that choice that you actually want to be with that person. You enjoy their company. You want to hang out. Like you said, you still have fun together, because it becomes then a
Yeah.
choice like, is this person a benefit in my life mutually? I want to hang in on this because there aren't other things holding you into it. So you really are making a very conscious choice to stay together after you get to a certain
I think
age.
for us, it was a very conscious choice from the beginning, because there was when you got married, then it was for life. I remember looking at the guy, and when he said, "Till death do you part," and I'm like, Did you just say till death?"
Till shit, what did I sign up for?
And
Yeah.
then I think you just know. I've just known he's the person. It's called destiny in my case.
Yeah.
I just feel you can't be born at the same time and in the same place and meet at 16.
I'm a believer that we choose when we're going to be born on a spiritual level. So obviously you two are meant to be born at the same time in the same place where you would connect. Oh, I love it. Okay, so are you religious, spiritual? Where do you consider yourself at this time in your
I'm an
life?
extremely spiritual person. I grew up Catholic, and so that will tell you right away why I'm not religious. Because when you are raised Catholic, you bow your head and you have to be humble and you
Mhm.
have to go to confession. And I went to confession when I was 5. I had no sense on my soul. And he said, "Oh, yes, you do." By the time I left the confessional, I had done everything but covet thy neighbor's wife.
Oh,
So, I just don't like that organized religion made by man at all. But the spiritual lives and the people that I hang out with, we're all very woo-woo and spiritual and believe in everything. Because why can't you believe? Why would you not believe in a sign? Or why would you not believe that there's another planet? I mean, just why wouldn't you believe that?
right. Yeah, that's my thing. If God is all encompassing in all of us, all over the place, nothing's off the table. Everything's
Right.
possible, you guys. And I also, with the religion thing, don't like the man-made part of it, like the rules that were set by basically men for men and have been manipulated is my thought on the whole thing. So you're a little bit woo-woo. I love that. I'm a firm believer we're not done till we're done. We can start new whenever we feel like it, right? Like nothing's stopping us. And I actually think we're in a really good position at this age to do that because we aren't messing around anymore. We're going to do what we want. We're not worried about how we look as much and this and that. We know we can do this now. So I think we're in a really good place for it.
I'm writing this new book. It's called Your Next Chapter because we have to get prepared to make that chapter happen.
Yep.
It's not just when you turn into a new year that you make a New Year's resolution for a month. It really is preparing for that next chapter. And right now, I just see so many people, especially women entrepreneurs at 50, and they're kind of lost. It's that whole menopause thing that you go through and you get brain fog and the kids are
Yep.
gone and it's empty nest. And boy, it's a real turning point.
Okay, so you make some big promises, girl. We got to talk about this because let me just finish what Patricia says. She likes to help seasoned female entrepreneurs create sustainable, abundant, purpose-driven businesses. She also wants to help women break free from limiting beliefs, embrace reinvention, and design a life of meaning and prosperity. Then she goes on to say she's got a program, you guys, a really cool program that empowers women to discover, own, and monetize their natural gifts, talents, and skills. This is a tall order to fill, Patricia. There's some big promises. I like every one of them. I know all my friends listening are like, that sounds like exactly what I want to do. I want to, like we talk about finishing strong. And I talk a lot about this is the fire horse year, a year one. All of these things spiritually have aligned to be a really cool year here in 2026. That this could be the year we really start on whatever it was we were wanting to start on. You say that we all need to have a plan B. How do we know what our plan B is?
Well, see, a lot of people, the only reason I say plan B is because so many people are still in a job, a job. They're in corporate America, but they're not happy. I mean, I think they've now said it's 87% aren't happy doing that. So they just go off, get the job, take the paycheck, and wonder what else they should be on the side. And so I think to have a plan B, you have to know yourself so well. And if you don't, you have to start really questioning. And so for me, it happened a long time ago because when we moved to Phoenix, I just remember walking around thinking, I wonder why nobody's hiring me. I mean, I was on like 22 interviews and nobody liked me. And my husband would say every day, well, did anybody, like make you an offer? Oh, no. But I said I had lunch with this Mary and she was really fun. She was a nice girl. I finally realized I have to find out what is good for me. What is it that I need in a job? And then go in and find out, So I put it in, what should I be? And I came up with 7 ingredients. Maybe this would help your audience.
Absolutely. Let's hear them.
Ingredients are too.
Yes.
If they're still corporate America or they're working on their plan B. I had 7 of them. Number 1 was it had to be professional. Had to have a professional atmosphere. Now, even in my own home office now, I work in a very professional environment. I'll have live flowers. I'll have lighting going. I just do that. Number 2, I had to have flexibility in my schedule. And I say that because I had smaller children and I wanted to go to all their games and do whatever they were doing.
Yeah.
Number 3, it had to have unlimited income potential because I couldn't bear the thought of working next to somebody making the same amount of money and she wasn't working, because that's what I had seen in my past.
Yeah.
I needed to have an opportunity to help people. Because if I kept feeling if I'm not helping somebody, see, there's the teacher in me. If I'm not helping them either make more money or I'm not helping them, find the next career move, then what's life about?
Yeah.
Number 5, it had to use my communication skills. So I knew I needed to be able to talk to people and I was helping them interview to go out and get a job. And number 6, I'd had to have an environment where I would walk away and feel productive. Now, I've kind of changed that in my house about productive because I always feel at the end of every single day, was I productive today? Well, see, I could have been really productive and cleaned out the oven, but I don't want to. So I
No.
now say that I have to feel kind of happy with what I did during the day. And then the last one is the one that I didn't have, the only one out of all of this that I didn't have in my ingredients in my first job in Phoenix. And that's location. I wanted 15 minutes from my house and I had to drive 45. Now it's 2 minutes to my office. So I
Perfect.
have them all. Yeah. And it's really important to know that for yourself. And that's just one of the things we should know about ourselves.
Okay, so what I'm hearing is phase one. If you're just starting to figure out now, I don't like my job. I want to do something different. I still need to make money. Okay. We need to figure out what the perfect job would be, right? And I'm saying job, that doesn't necessarily mean you're going to work for someone else even, right? This could be something you're starting on your own. You start listing those things out. And I'm guessing a lot of the things you listed would be the same for us. We want to have flexibility now in our schedule. We want to have unlimited potential. We don't just want to say every year I might get a raise of 3%. No, we want to control our own income now, right? Sky's the limit for this thing. So a lot of the stuff you said, I'm sure is resonating with everyone as pretty common things. Okay, so we start figuring out what that looks like. And then what? Then what do we do next, Patricia?
Well, if you'd like, I can give you 4 steps that really worked. It's worked for so many people that I think it would work for you also. But some people really, I don't know why, but some people don't want to do the work. They don't want to find out and dig into themselves. I don't know if it's guilt, if it's shame from before, but I just want to say, don't do that to yourself. Be so kind to yourself and talk about you. Try to figure out what it is. So here's my steps to help you get started to discover what it is you want. Okay, number 1, make a list. And I would say make a very, very long list of everything you feel that you do well. Just keep writing on it. I'm going to call it a living list because every day put it up somewhere on a wall and add to it because you'll forget to put down that you are really good at bookkeeping because you don't want to put that down because you don't ever want to do it. That's
okay. So for examples, this isn't even big deal stuff, right? This can be just start listing everything you think you do good. Like I can organize a closet like no one else. I can crochet a pair of booties in a day. I don't know what it is for you guys, right? Communication. I know that I can get people to laugh. I'm really good at whatever. These can be big and little things. What would something really little be for you, Patricia?
I'm really good at alphabetizing my library books because I take them out a lot. So then I alphabetize them. Now, that is really, really little, but I do it really well and I do it a lot because I do like just going to the book and just going directly to how it begins.
So you're really good at organization. Yeah.
Well, that's pretty little, but would I ever turn that into a job? Absolutely not. I would go crazy if I had to do that, but I would still put that down. Now, here's the other thing. I came up with this about, I don't know, maybe 5 years ago, and I started telling my mastermind people, I want you to do this, but now I want you to go out and ask other people what they have noticed that you do well. That was the best thing they'd ever done. And one person said to me, why would I ever ask anybody else? I just want to know myself. And I said, you're going to be surprised at the gifts you get when you go out and ask that. It's a kind of an embarrassing thing, to be honest. But what I did it at the same time, and it was embarrassing, I must admit, but I would go up to this person who, it's somebody that has to know you. And I said, could you tell me what you think I do well?
No, that's a really good idea.
Yeah. I said, what? And he said, well, you're that person that just has instant rapport with people. It's just crazy. And I said, well, I guess, give me an example. He said, waitresses aren't supposed to be sitting with us while we're eating, but you started asking her questions and getting to know her, and she sat down with us. It's ask people.
I think that's a great idea.
Let's say you have 70 things on it. I mean, you can even say what you do well is in fact, this just happened to me. A girl said to me 2 days ago, the thing that I do best is I just pick things up off the floor. If I even see a little fuzzy thing on the floor, I pick them up all the time. That's why the floor always looks perfect. And I said, wow, I would never have noticed that. Never. So it really is. Keep that list long. And then now I want you to go back to the list. I want you to put a heart by the things that you love to do. You just love to do them. makes you so happy. And you're going to find out. Now, let's say you have the heart by 20 things. Okay, that's okay.
Mhm.
But here's the part where we're going to now get into monetization. I want you to put a dollar sign by any of those heart signs that could turn into a business. For
Yeah.
instance, me, I'm very good with mentoring or coaching a person. I've known it my whole life since I was 5 years old. And so I could put a dollar sign next to it. But if I'm really honest, you can put $5 signs next to that because coaching is a very lucrative position to step into. But if you start doing that, now for me anyway, I had $5 signs in front of my heart signs. And I said to myself, okay, put them in order now of what you love doing the most. So that's the last thing on your list. Mark it 1, 2, 3, 4 in order of what you love to do the most.
Okay.
And, mine has changed over the years because I really have to say podcasting is one of my favorite things to do now. Certainly was not on my list years ago.
Yeah. But let me just mention that this is the kind of list I did before I decided on podcasting. If you're someone like me and I'm a manifestor and I've had multiple endeavors, careers, been different things my whole life. And I sat down and in the same way you just mentioned this list, what am I good at? I started to think about in each job, what was my favorite part? What was my favorite thing about that job, right? When I was a nurse, what was my favorite thing? When I was like a teenager working at Dairy Queen, what was my favorite thing? What was my favorite thing in this career, that career? When I had my professional photography business, all the businesses I've had, I was thinking, what was my favorite part of it? And then what can I do now that envelops that thing? And I realized that what I loved the most about every single job I've ever had since I was 13, that's when I started working, was talking with the people, right? I love the communication. I love that people opened up to me about things they probably don't even talk about their friends sometimes about, right? Like people opened up to me very easy. I loved conversation. I loved learning new things. I loved getting to know new people. And that was in every type of job I had. That was my favorite part. And I was like, oh, okay, that's what I should focus on now. Because like you said, that would have been on my list with the hearts. Okay. So we have all that and we have money symbols next to the ones that'll make money. Now, are we just going to pick one of those things to focus on? Or I know you talk about having multiple streams of income. Do we want to kind of use 3 or 4 of them to decide on our new plan or just one?
Yeah, I think multiple streams should be talked about because I kind of got stuck one time at my recruiting company, not having multiple streams. I only had the stream of you come into my office, I'll interview you, then I'll place you in a job,
Yeah,
career, and then I'll make money, and that was it. And then all of a sudden, the job market kind of fell apart. Don't remember when. And we were having really low months, and I still had to pay people, to be
well,
there.
sure.
So I realized then, okay, we need to branch out. We'll start multiple. So we started doing resume writing on the side, and that really started flourishing. And then we started doing career coaching. Then we started doing how to dress for success. Having lots of different workshops, lots of different angles on how to make money with the hundreds of people that were walking in our door every day. I wrote a book called Hire Me: Secrets of Job Interviewing, and it had the 10 most important questions and answers in it.
Nice.
And that was really a big seller. So we did about everything we could possibly do. We started having job fairs. We started working on Saturday mornings, doing certain things about, like I say, the dress for success, and had models come and show them how to do it affordably. Multiple streams for me right now, it can be that I mentor people. That's one of my streams of income. It can be the podcast that I have. I personally have my own podcast where I'm the sponsor. I don't go out looking for sponsors because I have a place that I lead people to called Your Gift is Your Niche. And so I have that as another stream of income. It's a digital course. And you want to always be thinking about passive income also, so that you're making money while you sleep. That's not easy. I'd love to say that's the easiest thing I've ever done, but it's not. You have to be out there doing ads and on Facebook Live. You've got to be out there really to do this passive income stream. And you have to have something that people go, I have to get that. I don't care how much it costs. I have to get that. So it has to be a real common problem that everybody's having. And I think I really do have a common problem with people wondering, what should I do next?
Oh,
So
for
that's my
sure.
next
Yeah. That's your niche. So to clarify, if someone right now is listening and they've done their list and they know the things that they love to do and they know the things that could possibly make money, should they focus on one and then that skill has multiple streams? Let's just say someone says, okay, I think I want to be a life coach. Maybe I want to sell my crafts on Etsy. Like if there's multiple things, how do we know which one we should focus on first?
Well, I think the most important thing to focus on first is yourself. It's what you love to do, what you're good at doing.
Okay.
Just that, the book I wrote called Discovering Your Core. Well, I'll show you that cover because it's such a beautiful cover.
Yes, I saw that. It's got a little apple all chewed on all over to get to the core.
Wonderful.
Yeah, it's cool.
And then you have the seeds, and the seeds are your gifts. And you get to the core of who you are with your gifts. And seriously, you make a living, a very nice living, doing what you love. And that's kind of a nice idea. I certainly wasn't taught that in school. Were you?
No, heck no. No. You did not focus on your passions when we were growing up, right? Like, no. Hey, you need to be a doctor, a lawyer, a teacher. There were very specific paths that led to, whatever it wasn't like, oh, but I like art. That's not a job. That's a hobby. I'm Gen X and that was not a thing. Nope.
Me too. It wasn't for me. And when I was a school teacher, I would have taught that classroom completely differently now. I just didn't know at that time. But these children would come up to me and they'd say, Mrs. Drain, what should I be when I grow up? Because they were nervous.
Sure.
And I'd say, honey, you're only in the second grade. Don't worry. I would be saying, honey, you're in the second grade. Let's get busy. What
do you love?
Into your
yeah.
Because we all have natural abilities that we came here on the earth. People just don't realize it, me included. I didn't know. I was always curious like you, Jen, about other people. And I love that you said, go back to each one of your jobs and find out what your favorite thing is to do, because that's really a good tool.
Yeah.
It certainly was for you. And you found out that you were very curious about people and you wanted to have conversations and you wanted to make them laugh and you wanted to make them feel good, right?
Right. Exactly.
All right.
Yeah.
That's who you are. And that's kind of at the core of who you are. For me, at the core also is a teacher. And so I teach through all the books that I write. And I teach like on a podcast as a guest or on my own podcast.
Yeah. So there's a lot of cool ideas you have going on. If you were a teacher and you said, if you could go back and teach again, you'd do it differently. What do you think is more important right now for us to be instilling in the kids? Because listen, a lot of this stuff we're learning in school, like, I don't know. I'm so glad I learned to do long division to the 20,000th decimal point. I never use that again. Okay. There's so much in school we'd never use again. My own children graduated. I was shocked. They graduated. I think they were past high school even. And they weren't really sure where this stamp went on an envelope. They weren't sure how to mail something. And I was like, is this happening? I was like, I have failed big time because I guess I made the assumption that was happening in school. It was not happening in school. They didn't know how to write a check. They didn't know a lot of things.
Right. I mean, it was so shocking to me. I handed out to my grandchildren a note that I wrote to each of them about how wonderful they were. And they couldn't read.
Was it in cursive?
Writing. Yep, it's in cursive.
Which is a foreign language now. It's crazy. My mom would write because she was a secretary and she would write in shorthand. Do you remember shorthand?
Oh, yes.
And so I remember being very young thinking she had a secret language because she could write in shorthand. But now it's the same for us writing in cursive. The kids go, "What? I don't know what that says." And I'm like, "Oh my God, what's happening?" They got to put it into AI to translate it now. Yeah.
You asked me what I would do, and I know exactly what I would do.
What would you do?
I did a lot of it, but I didn't focus on their gifts. I didn't say to Mary, "You have the gift of laughter," or whatever, because she'd remember that the rest of her life. I know she would from second grade. But what I instilled in each one of those children is how important it is to love yourself. That there's nobody as important as you, because wherever you go, there you are. Well, I did teach that a lot. And I made them hug themselves, and I put little things by their desk all the time. And I would always to ask them what their highlight was every single day so that they really focused on what did they really love to do. So those are the things, but I never really focused on Mary having the gift of English or Tim having the gift of math. Or I just
So maybe even as kids get older into junior high and high school, focusing more on, again, like, what do you love to do? What are you really good? What are your best skills? And it might not be math. It might not be English. We have to focus on what each kid's actual potential looks like, and less to do with you have to go to college, you have to make this much money.
My first children's book that I wrote is called I Love Myself the Way I Am.
I love
And it
that.
has a song that goes with it, and it's just beautiful. I just love this song. But it really was so sad for me when I was speaking and I was playing the song for the adults and telling them about the book that I had written for these children. And I'd look out and I'd see people cry. Every time I talk about it, I'd see these adults crying. And so finally, I did my book and I played the song. And I finally took a break and I said to this one woman, I noticed that you were crying. And I've noticed that happens every time I do this with adults. And she said, I have never loved myself. I have never ever
True.
thought that it was wise to love yourself. And when you said you could love yourself first, that was almost wanted to slap you, actually. I was mad at you when you did that. And I said, well, yeah, I grew up the same way. I'm Catholic. I certainly don't love myself first. You always take care of everybody else but yourself. And that's where women end up then at 50 years old going, well, who am I supposed to care for? And I don't mean the spa. I'm talking, that's maintenance to me. I'm talking about really loving who you are and just be kind to yourself. Certainly, I think we're always kind to other people, but we're not to ourselves.
Never. We
We'll
never
say
are. It
it's
feels
just
like
kind
that
of having
list
an
is helpful.
attitude.
Because even just writing down all the things you're good at is kind of like self-care, because you're acknowledging that you have a lot of really cool things you're good at, right? Oh, whatever they are. And so that's all self-care there to say, oh, I am really good at a lot of things. Okay, so we're getting our list. We're marking down hearts. We're putting down dollar signs. We're deciding what we want to move forward with. Is there a step after that?
Well, the fourth step is the one where you put it in order of what you really like to do the most first, that would make you the most
Okay.
money first. And my four things were always, and I think I did five, but mine were always wrapped around the same thing, like communication, like teaching a course or something. It was
Yeah.
always, they all matched and blended all the time.
Yes.
But back to your question about, do you start, how do you start the thinking about multiple incomes? You've got
Yeah.
to start with you in the middle, and then you come out like a spider and you start thinking about all the ways that you could make money from your knowledge. And one of the ways could be to do a digital course. One of them could be do a speaking engagement. One of them could be write a book. They all come from you, whatever that is.
Right.
I've just always known that about me. So I've just always known how to do that.
Yeah. Probably you've got a little self-care love to do first, right? If you can't even get 5 things on a piece of paper that you think you're good at, that feels like a red flag to do some work.
I'm working with somebody right now that does exactly that. She said, I have no idea, no concept whatsoever. So I have to start the digging process with all the questions that I know to ask. And they have to be the proper questions, to really get to a person's core.
Yeah.
But I will say she's been tough, because I feel bad that she's kind of been maybe not seen and not heard most of her life. And when that happens, you kind of get to look and see who you are.
Yeah. Because I think a lot of women are stuck in that right now. Like, who am I? Because guess what? I always thought my main job was being a mom. I thought my main job was being the boss at work. And sometimes we have to switch from caregiver for our children to caregiver of parents, or something. So we're still stuck in this caregiving mode at all times. I think that is a huge question. And I know a lot of people listening, because I've heard from people, are thinking, I don't even know who I am. How would I write a list of what I'm good at? Because it's going to be a bunch of shit where I was taking care of other people. And I don't want to do that anymore. So I don't have a lot of hearts to put next to stuff. I feel like some people can make a list and be like, I don't heart any of those.
Well, and I have a free thing on my website. I just thought of it. It's 5 easy steps to find out who you are.
Oh, yeah. You've got 5 steps to discover your core gifts, talents, and skills. Is that one?
Yeah. And it's really something I worked on for a long time, to create some kind of a system so people could get to the core of who they are. And so please feel free to go there and download that, because I think that's a starting point. It's starting to say, here's Jen's 101, getting to know you. And it's fun, but I'm just saying, I know people and up close and personal, and they can't do it. And I know for some it goes back to the fact that they were shamed earlier in their life and never got over it,
You probably need to go back all the way back to childhood, guys, all the way back and say,
Yeah.
hey, when did I get programmed to think all these things, right? That I'm not worthy of whatever. We're not saying you're going to make a list tomorrow and have your new business by Friday. It doesn't happen that quick, but you can start on that journey while you're doing your day-to-day paying the bills. That's what this plan B is, right? You're working up a better life for yourself while you're still paying the bills. So, a lot of people are not in a place where they can quit tomorrow and just work on their plan B. No, but I've had a lot of people tell me that the day-to-day grind becomes lighter and easier because they have that passion they're working on the side. It becomes just how they're paying the bills, not their life, right? And then they can start drawing passion back into their life by slowly pursuing what they know they'll love to do eventually.
And it's so sad to me that none of us, and I really mean 95% of us, have never been helped with this situation. And then we grow up and this is what happens. You get to the mid place in life and I feel even worse for guys because they have the golden handcuffs on and they just have to stay there. They still have to pay the mortgage and they've been probably making more than the wife. And there you go. And I talked to one just last week and he's an attorney out of New York and he makes $550,000, I think. And so we started working on the side business, but now he's so busy, it's hard side business. So he's got the golden handcuffs on.
Yeah, because that's male or female. I can see both sides because like you said, they feel that responsibility that the bills have to be paid. They can't really go lighter on their day-to-day job so that they can pursue their secondary job, right? And also for women, sometimes you have to work and pursue the secondary job because maybe you're looking to be independent. You may be listening right now thinking like, one of the things I want to change is to not be married anymore. But right now, financially, I cannot, right? And so getting your side gig going to eventually be your full-time gig could also have big goals like independence. I'm sure you've worked with women and men like that, where it's like, okay, I don't want to have to be in a household with a dual income anymore to live. I want to be able to support myself and pursue my own self-care without all this stuff weighing me down. Yeah.
Well, and then here comes the next thing. You have to be, would I say, courageous enough to ask for the money that you deserve to make. And a lot of women, like myself, have been taught that that's an evil thing and money's bad and it's not a good thing to talk about. And please don't ever talk about money. It's just so funny to me. It's completely taboo. In my work, I have to talk about money because that's what we're heading for. What kind of money do you want to make? And let's reverse engineer and figure out how you can do that.
And I think that's especially hard for women who are going through this spiritual awakening at the same time because we're feeling very led to like help others, give, all of this stuff. And it feels really good, but we then feel guilty if we want to charge. There's this guilt of making money. And it's like, well, no, you're sharing your skill just like a doctor, a lawyer. You're sharing your services, your skill, and it's okay to be compensated, right? We don't have to feel the guilt.
Yeah, it's the hardest thing that I have to have each woman that I work with overcome is that. For instance, the gal I was working with last week, she said, I think I'm going to start charging $75 an hour. And I said, would you ever consider doing 3 of your courses and charging $750? Could you do that? And she said, never. I could never do that.
No.
So I can't make her, but she's so underpriced. Most people are charging $5,000 and $6,000 for what she's offering.
Yeah.
Let me give you another quick story. When people think that there's not enough money and it's just crazy to me. So I'm at this event and this girl is up teaching about how to sell. She was really good, how to sell. And she was walking back and forth and you can sell anything and blah, blah, blah. And she said, now, if you're interested, I'm taking 12 people on a ride with me. I mean, this is going to be a full year that I'm going to be working with you. And get ready because there's going to be more than 12 running to the back of the room. Now, here comes the sheets on how much that I'm charging for that. And she says, you'll see right away that it's $100,000 year. $100,000. And the girl next to me, who was like 24, got up and ran to the back of the room. And when she came back, I mean, I saw them all back there. It was like crazy.
Wow.
She got her 12. Now, if you count that up, that's $1.2 million.
1 point.
girl comes back and I said, "Oh my gosh, how did you make that much money in your young life?" And she said, "Oh, it's not my money. I'll borrow it. I'll take a second. I'll sell my car. I'll do whatever I have to do because I want to be a millionaire just like her." And she is. She's a millionaire today because she really knew that she didn't know what this other person knew. So you want to make sure that you don't undersell what it is that you know and how you can get a result for somebody else.
Yes, because I think a lot of times we think that our skill set is common, and I'm finding out it's not. You guys, if you have a very specific skill set and you think, well, most people know this. No, they don't. No, you are a unique person listening right now, and your skill set and the way you think about things is completely original. It just is. As we get older in midlife, we start to realize that even more because I'll be like, oh, I thought everybody knew that. And I'm like, no, they don't. Like, you know what I mean? There are special skills that every person has. Yeah. So that feels like it's part of this whole figuring out what to do next. What are my specific skill set that I'm really good at? That's a little different.
I'm working with this girl and she's struggling. Nobody's going to pay me. I used to be a nurse and blah, blah, blah. And I said, okay, well, let's not think about any of that. Let's just talk about you. If you could really do this dream that you're thinking, because I know you must have one in you. And she said, oh, well, that's over the top. And I said, what is it? And she said, well, I would love to take people to Guatemala. We put a whole retreat together for her. She put it out. She could only take 10 because that's how many, whatever the house was that she was in. She charged, I believe, 5,000 or 6,000 to go. And plus they had to pay their own way.
Yeah.
And she got all 10 people and she was in shock. She could not believe that this was even possible. But you have to be honest with yourself. And then you have to say, well, forget about all the hows. What's it that you want? It doesn't matter how you get there. Just tell me what you want.
Yeah. And then we'll figure it out. There are many books that my friend Patricia has. I'm going to have all the links so you can check it out. What I would recommend is you start with this, what should I be when I grow up now that I'm 40, 50, 60, and you've added 70. I see on the, like all the ages. Yes. So it's not too late, right? Here's what it says. These days, the majority of careers don't end with a gold watch, a nice retirement, and a living happily ever after story. You follow all the rules only to find yourself asking the question, now what should I be? All right. So this book is your personal guide to knowing the real you. And we talked a little bit about in the episode today, but it gets more into it in the book. And then she's got her podcast, Women Entrepreneurs Over 50, Working Less and Earning More, Doing What You Love. So this is for women who want to, like all of us, everyone listening right now, make an impact and income, right? That's always nice to make an impact and income.
I believe how many people will say to me, I don't want to just say I want to make an income. I mean, it's taboo to say it. They want to make an impact. And I say, well, then how do you get like your groceries paid for?
Yeah. We need the money, girls.
Well, they must have other income coming in because seriously, if you are an independent woman who's making your own money, you do have to make money. You have to make an impact along with an income. And it's not taboo to talk about it.
No, there's no shame in that game, girls. We got bills to pay just like everybody else, right? Now we can do it with integrity. We can do something we're passionate about, right? Like we're not going to be shysty about it, but make your money, girls. Make your damn money. Yeah. Nope. There's no shame. And we are all kind of in that age group. If you're in the 50s, 60s, 70s, that it was taboo. The men made the money, right? That wasn't our responsibility. No, we can make the same money. Yeah, we can do this. Okay. And your gift is your niche, a transformational 12-week experience. So this is all on your website, right? Is that at your own pace class or is that personally with you? How does that work?
You have to listen to your audience. You listen to what it is they want. They wanted it to be, please let it be at my own pace. Okay, I did that. So now it's a downloadable, do it at your own pace. I took the fee way down, but I don't go with it. What I do go with is if they get through the program and they think it's as wonderful as I do and as transformable as I do, then they'll want to be one of our certified teachers that teach the whole thing because it's all done for you. You just put the person through that.
Okay.
And a lot of people don't know what to teach. And so I put that together so that they can.
Okay.
I just want them to go through it to see. You know what you said, Jen, a little while ago that I wrote down because it really rang a bell. You said, you know, they follow all the rules. We follow all the rules and we still don't know what we're supposed to be.
Yep.
That's sad. You
It
go
is sad.
through the 8 years, and then you go through high school, and then you either go into college or you don't. But what are you supposed to go do? They never taught us that.
Nope.
It's what you said about your children. That same thing happened with one of my grandchildren. They didn't know where to put the stamp. I would never have thought of that. Never.
Same. I was like in awe. I was like, what have I done? Yeah. I thought this was covered at school, but no, I should be covering more at home. But it is what it is. We did a little adult session of how the postal service works. How do you write a check? How do you, just stuff that I really thought was taught, and it was not. It was not. And then do you do one-on-one? Like just not.
Yes, I still do. I'm one of those people that get real kick out of it. And so it's fun for me. I only take 3 people a month now because time is limiting on that, and very limiting. But I've learned how to do that. I used to take a lot of people one-on-one, and it's not fair any longer. I'm trying to get everything out there so that somebody can come on, and they can't afford to work with me one-on-one, nor do they want to work with me one-on-one.
Yeah.
So now they can go to Amazon and buy books. They can go to yourgiftisyourniche.com and download that course,
Girl, this is your multiple streams of income. You got the multiple streams of income going for you. This is what you're teaching people to do too. All right?
This is what I want the audience to hear.
Okay.
You can't make a difference until you know your difference. And that kind of sums up what you and I have been talking about. You have to know what differentiates you from other people. You have to keep saying that to yourself. But what else differentiates me? It's a hard one because it's hard for me too. I mean, I definitely can't say, oh, I know what differentiates me. I'm older. I've been in business a long time. See, somebody else could say that.
Yeah.
You have to figure that out for you.
Yeah. What makes you different, unique, special? And then honoring that. Like, I think always that maybe I'm different than other people. And we start to guess, like, but is that a good thing or a bad thing? It's always a good thing, right?
You want to talk like everybody.
That's the thing. Because, like, for instance, even just in podcasting, right? And say you're out there and you want to start a podcast and you're listening to all these podcasts. You don't want to copycat anybody. You want to do your thing. You want your personality to come through. If you're going to be a speaker, because sometimes you think, well, my personality is not for everyone. Good. It's not supposed to be. My people are going to find me and appreciate what's different and original about me. And that's the same for you, my friends listening. You need to embrace your difference. You're special, right? And then know that that's okay and go with it. Know that you're not going to be everyone's cup of tea. You're not supposed to be. We're all different, and that's okay. Like I think that's a big part of us getting scared of midlife too, right? We think, well, no, all these young kids are doing this, that, and the other. I don't want to do that. Don't do that then. You do have something you can do though.
Well, I have noticed, I hear this a lot, and I didn't know, to be honest, what it really meant. The younger people are using imposter syndrome. I'm like, what does imposter syndrome mean? I finally had to ask somebody, and they said, well, you don't even know what you're talking about yet, and you're trying to teach somebody else. I don't like that idea. I really would like to learn from somebody who's already been there and done that.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think a lot of kids feel that because they get out of college and they're supposed to know how to do this specific job, and they have no clue, because we all know we learn more on the job than in school. So I think a lot of younger kids feel like they're imposters because they're having to get into these jobs and they put pressure on themselves, like, I have to pretend I know how to do this. No, you don't. You're supposed to be learning on the job and asking questions and all of that. So I think part of it is just the pressure we put on the younger generation too, to know exactly what they're doing right away. Yeah.
I agree. I totally agree.
I hope that you at least got out of this whole episode that it is never too late. If something's brewing, I know it, because all of us in these awakenings and spiritual journeys are changing. We're changing. That's just what we're doing. When we know better, we do better. We move forward. We're changing our lives for the better. We're going to finish strong. So I hope at least this is another resource, another tool for you guys. Go to Patricia's site, check it all out, see what resonates with you, because we can do stuff alone, but why? We should really learn from those who've done this before us and make it easier on ourselves moving forward. Because if you have a talent and a skill and something that you know makes yourself different, you should embrace that now. And you should bring it out and do it. You should do it. I don't care how old you are. Right, Patricia? We don't care. No. You are not done till you're done. Yeah.
What happened for me is chronological aging, because I did buy into it for a little bit. it kind of scared me thinking, well, nobody's going to listen to me. I mean, now they really are. Now, when I start saying things like that, I know that it has to affect thousands more of us because you have more genius at this time in your life than you did when you were 20 years old. And so you just don't want to let that chronological thing, come up and bite you like it.
Once you get to menopause, perimenopause, our bodies change. I partially believe that's to protect us. The wisdom we've gained, right? That we now need to share and heck, monetize, guys. Like, we've been through it. We should be benefiting from it now. We put the time in. Am I right? It's wisdom. I couldn't have taught a damn thing in my 20s. I probably thought I could have, right? But no, like the wisdom I have now is much more spot on. So yeah, no, I agree totally, Patricia.
All I have to do is ask somebody the question I asked you at the beginning. If you did not know today how old you were, how old do you think you are? One person who was in her 60s said she felt like she was 13. I've never felt like I was 13. I never want to be 13.
Oh, God help me. No, I'm not going back that far, please. No. I do not want to go back in time to that age. But no, but that does make total sense. And I would think I was younger. The only time I would think I was older is sometimes like when I'm getting up and my hip's not working right. And you go, oh, shit, like this hip is locked up. All right. Then for 1 second, I'm like, how old are you, Jen? Because these hips should be moving better. But you're right. If just I didn't have a mirror in front of me and I just closed my eyes and thought, how do I feel? I feel much younger than I am. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And I think we should continue that to the day we die, right? I always want to feel younger than I am.
I'm continuing writing books because they give me purpose and pleasure, and I think I just have a lot to offer. And especially since I see so many people now saying, I don't know what to do next, but now they're 50. I don't know what to do for this next chapter and then I'm seeing so many people just sitting there waiting to die. I mean, I don't.
Yeah, I think once you stop having purpose, you're probably about done. I think we have to keep going on our purpose. As small or big as our purpose feels, if we just keep on our authentic path with that purpose, we're good.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. If you're still breathing, you're going to have another chapter.
Heck yeah.
If you still get to get up in the day, it's kind of nice because there's other people that didn't get up today. But we're here and we're still breathing. So
for sure. I say that all the time because a lot of people get real upset about their birthdays. Like, oh, I turned another year older. And I'm like, what are you upset about exactly? Because you lived another year? Because there's two choices. You celebrate a birthday or you're dead. I don't understand why people get upset about having another birthday. Like, you got to live another year, girl. Cut it out. Like, it's a lot of people can't say that. Getting older is a privilege. It really is. Oh, God. All right, Patricia. Well, thank you so much for all of this. Do you have any other final parting words?
Yeah. And I do believe this. You can't make a difference until you know your difference.
Yep.
And you just find out what your differentiator is. Just look at yourself and find all the wonderful things about and be kind to yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And if you hear yourself being mean, because we all have a mean girl in us.
Oh, yeah.
Just say, stop it. I'm not going there. Stop it. Yeah.
Yeah, you got to shut your mean girl down because she comes out a lot as we're aging, right? Because we look at the wrinkly skin and our boobs that are waving at the ground. There's all kinds of things going on with our bodies that we don't love anymore, all right? All of us. And we have to look past all that. Nobody cares about that shit anymore. Yeah, we're moving on. I'm going to get my list going too. With my hearts. Well, thank you so much, Patricia. I hope you guys got some really good inspirational stuff out of this so you can keep moving forward on your authentic path. And I will see you guys next week. We have more really cool stuff going on every week. So come back and listen. And Patricia, thank you very much. Check out her links, guys. She's got a lot of cool resources.
You're welcome, Jen. Thank you so much.
Listen, I know your time is valuable. And right now, I'm feeling super grateful and totally humbled that you chose to hang out with me today. If this podcast resonates with you, could you do me a solid and hit that subscribe or follow button? That's going to help you out because you're never going to miss an episode. And it helps me out because you're never going to miss an episode. And if you have like 30 seconds more, could you leave a 5-star rating and maybe leave a kick-ass review? Thank you so much, and I can't wait to continue our journey on the next episode. Oh, and I can't forget the fine print. The legal jargon. This podcast is presented solely for educational and entertainment purposes. We're just two friends on this journey together, and this podcast is not intended as a substitute for the advice of a physician, professional coach, psychotherapist, or any other qualified professional. You get it. See you next time.